Oh my gosh, I already love how this tiny town looks. Like, we don't even have the buildings in yet, but look at that little main street. That's adorable. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in Cities Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden. And in between parts, I released a members only video for Belgian Waffle members and up, where we built out these two little piers we had here from the last part. Just moved the fishing industry over. We pushed back the laneway for our ferry just a touch, and then we just put in some industrial buildings along the back, did a little bit of light detailing, nothing too crazy, but just finished this area out a bit and set us up to continue expanding that down this direction in the future. I think this really should become some type of park potentially. I'm not entirely sure how I want to finish that pier, so for now we're going to leave this section empty. At most what we'll do is this, just so that it looks like we've got something going on here. Why don't I place some crosswalks through this area, right? It's not going to stay like this more than likely. I would imagine we're going to change this as we keep going. But for now, if I was just to come in here and place some palm trees along both sides, and we're just going to cover this in some cut grass, call it a day. There we go. It's not really a park. It's just unfinished. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. But this way we get, a few other buildings here along the waterfront. This building is going to be huge. Holy cow. Emerald Pier has absolutely no services in it. So let's see what we've got to offer here. Do you need healthcare? Our clinic and our hospital seem to be supporting all that just fine. We've got a cemetery, which at the moment is holding, and I wouldn't want a cemetery to be right along here, so that's not going to work. We've got garbage. That's seeming to go okay. Garbage processing. Yep, that's totally fine. Schools is where we're going to have a problem. There are a bunch of residents in Emerald Pier. We've got just over 1,300 residents. And I have no schools here. Not a single one. So what if this area here actually transformed into having some schools in it? Or we could start to upgrade these. I mean, they were just built, but I could see this going ahead and going right here. Bam. You're only going to operate right here. You can support 1,500 students. Where's our other elementary school? We have one here. She's at capacity, and you're operating in both Market Town and Harper Park. Right here, we have this high school. We have this elementary school. This is also at capacity. Ooh. So maybe we'll let you also support Market Town with any of its overflow. And we'll add a secondary, because this is only operating in Old City and Bayview, which are these two neighborhoods. We're going to add a secondary expansion to this. By placing that there too, we also remove some of the buildings that are there. So hopefully that's enough. All right, so now we've got an elementary school here. Great. We don't need the expansion yet. We could put this park behind it, but I actually think we're going to leave it open like that for now. Future Wheaty here. I totally forgot. This building has an elementary school add-on. It's $250,000, $15,000 a month upkeep. If we just look real quick, we placed down this guy. She's only $150,000 to place, but $17,500 a month upkeep. And that has how many students? 2,500? This holds 50. Okay, so we're going to delete this. I know, you're all so upset. I don't know why y'all are upset. You don't even have access to this school district. Get out of town. We are going to add this expansion to this building. Bam. And now this building has a school. We can select the operating district, which is just going to be Emerald Pier. Okay, now without that elementary school here, we got to place something here. I think we probably just want to search for something. Let me clear off my old search here. We don't need all that. What's the size here? 1, 2, 3. Is there a 6 width building that could be level 5? I don't want EU. There is this. Actually, that's perfect. What is this? USNE Extra Residential Medium Mixed L5 6x4. I mean, yeah. That's exactly what we want right there. Look at that. And it gives it this nice gradient. It goes from here to here. I love that. All right, there we go. Just had to make that quick adjustment. Thanks so much. Goodbye. High school, we have this one, but I know it's full. Yeah, and this is already operating in these 3 districts. This high school here, not even close to full. This is operating in these districts, but this district hasn't even been built out yet. So I'm not positive that that's going to be able to support more. This is going to need some kind of high school setup. Or do we remove Marketown from here, right? And we add Marketown to this high school. We'll build a new high school and remove Briar Ridge and Sylvester in the future. We could cover both of those, and we'll cover this with yeah, we're going to cover all of this side with this high school. I don't think we need a whole separate high school over here. That seems maybe a little crazy. You have fire protection? Kind of. You kind of have fire protection. It could be better. It could be better. And I'm wondering too, ooh, I almost thought we could fit this right here. We can. What if we put a little firehouse right there, right along that corner? So now we've got more than enough support there. Police, there's one right here. That's doing fine. And then I guess you would need cell towers and things like that. We have one over there, so it is covering everything at the moment. And we would want to have some kind of post office. Well, our post office is probably functioning okay. Yeah, it's functioning just fine. It's got all of its vans out. It has no upgrades. But maybe we just need a post box up here, and that would work. So let's go ahead and place one maybe right here along this side of the park. And then we'll place one over here near all of these buildings as well. We've got a big skyscraper that needs some support. It's not too far from that post box. That's perfect. Okay. We're still going to leave this as a park, I think, for now. I don't know what's going to go there yet. Until we figure that out, we're going to hold. Water facility overload. Water output, 100%, zero pollution. Sewage, 31%. We're also pumping water from here, no? Are you pumping water? You're also overloaded. If I give you a pump, will that help a little bit? I don't think so. I should be able to place a second right here. We'll go ahead and give it the extra pump. No reason not to. We've got the money for it. Now we should have more than enough water availability. Perfect. Perfect. This is going to need a rework in the future, I think, as well. Okay. This is doing fine. We'll come back to this in a little bit. But I think for now... Oh, yeah. Look at that building. That's huge. 216 people live there? That's crazy. But now we're getting a really, really nice set of buildings here along the front, which I like to see. For the day, we're going to step back from this area. We spent a lot of time over here recently. We've got a skyscraper on fire. We're just going to walk away from that. And we're going to come over here to our railway depot. Now, this area, I think, needs to become a small little town. We're making more than enough money. So what I'm going to do, tile upkeep, service, trade, service, upkeep. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to purchase these two tiles and these two tiles. It's going to cost $469,000 with an additional $76,000 a month upkeep. But it gives us a much larger area to work with. And I think I want to begin to build out a little bit of a town over here. Something a little different than what we have everywhere else so far in our build. Now, we've got this railway depot. I'm going to use the grid tool because this area is incredibly flat. And I'm going to bring this out and over. We want to have a small little gridded section here in the center of the town. Then we're going to fill in the rest of this and make this look like a little suburban town over here. I'm going to send these two guys straight on out. There's going to be numerous sections where we cross right over the railroad. We don't even care about it. It's just a part of this town. This guy here, I think we might even curve this to match a little bit. If I was to bring this down like this, we could send that there. This guy could come straight on out to here. And for now, this town is going to grow pretty quickly. We don't have any like real low density buildings kind of anywhere in the build. Most of the low density we have are row home low density. And I would actually want to see a little bit more than that. So that's kind of the heart of the town there, right? This can come right across and over. I think this area here, do we double cross? I don't think we can. So this is the only cross at this point. But then we'll have some additional buildings here. Now, we've got a small hill going along here. It's nothing too wild, so I'm not going to get too worried about it. I am going to give this a curve, and we'll then send this out straight this way. Again, this is a pretty flat area there. We'll then also do a little curve here, and we'll send this straight up and in to here. Now, this area has typically struggled with not enough workers. So my hope is that by building out additional buildings here, we'll be able to solve that. If we wanted more trains, I would need to build an additional cargo. What does this guy do? Dedicated facility to make train maintenance faster? Yeah, let's definitely do that. If we wanted more trains, we would need this here. And I can't put train stops at this town, which kind of sucks for the residents of the town. But how far back would this depot go? Goes pretty far back. If I just like slap down a road here, let's do this. We go here, we bring this up to here, we bring it over. Get rid of this section. Can I still fit this in here? I can. And with one little square to spare. So we're going to leave it just like that. This will be the last road that's here. Right? And then let's just do some light bends, light curves throughout this area. Just make it look a little bit different. Connect that up and in there. Now we do have some natural curves here, which I wouldn't mind trying to leverage. With all that, we need cul-de-sacs. Anywhere there's a dead end over here is going to become a cul-de-sac road. Just like so. Put one right there. All that looks pretty decent. Over here, we have a few cul-de-sac roads. This is just because we've run out of space in our tiles. We've already bought enough tiles, so I don't want to buy more. We'll place one more right there. And I could see the benefit of having one additional road connect right here. I think what I want to do, let's turn everything off except for snap to existing. But this is going to make it so that I have to kind of trust the build process a little bit more. And help me not have perfectly straight roads. Then throw cul-de-sacs on all of that. Give that a corner cul-de-sac too. Okay. So we've got this little area forming out here, a little bit away from the city. This here is going to be the heart of this town. And I think what I want to do to the heart of the town is I want to give it a 4-lane road, but a bit like it's 4-lane road that's just total overkill. Like it never actually needed a 4-lane road, but it got one anyway. And it's going to go all the way to there. Does it continue on? No, actually, it only goes past the train and then it stops. Yep, just like that. All right, so we have a road layout for our town of Kent. And now I've got to figure out how to make this look somewhat decent. We've already got tons of cars parking over here. All right, let's start off with, I think, just doing some residential zoning. I'm going to just stick with the NA low density housing, I think, for now. And at least here, right behind this main street here, there's going to be a bunch of housing that's really, really close together. I almost think like these 2 blocks are going to be filled with housing that's just super dense for this area. It's still single family homes, but we'll have dense housing along these 2 squares. Then up here at the front, I think I want to be a bit more mindful of what we place. So I'm going to do some of this by hand. I want to grab commercial, clear everything that's on here. We want to do commercial. We want to do northeast. I only want level 1s for right now. I'm thinking what I want is I want to have a little corner building, which this guy is the middle building. This here is like the best corner building right here. So I think we're going to place one of these here. We'll then have another building next door to it. We could do a little tiny guy to kind of accompany that. This can be along that corner. We also have the public market, which I wouldn't mind having the public market, but let's place it maybe on that corner there. We did not place this one yet. Basically, I want to just ensure that I don't end up getting a ton of the same stuff. So I want to be placing some of these buildings on my own, just so I can be really mindful of what is going where. We'll place one of these buildings here. I don't have any of these yet, so we'll place that there. Then let's switch from the northeast style buildings to our southwest, because these guys have parking lots and a little bit more space to fill them out. So I'm going to place this building right here. This is a commercial building. We've also got a 4x6 here. This is quite large. I mean, it could fill in right there, but I think I want to have this commercial building like maybe, over this direction, further away from this strip. I just want to be really, really thoughtful about what is going in this area. We also have a motel, which we could place a motel over here. Maybe like right next to the train, there's this motel. It's like a terrible place to be, but you gotta do what you gotta do. These are all level 1s too, so we're not doing anything too crazy. Now I need a 2x2. Here's a 3x2. It's a Chinese style building, but that could work just fine. We also have all these EE buildings. I don't want any of that. The gas stations are definitely something I want. Here's a 3x3. So we'll place one gas station there. And at least where I live, when there's one gas station, there's usually another. So we'll place another gas station right there so they can kind of compete against one another. I don't want any of this high density stuff. We've got EU commercial low. Some of these are going to be okay. Some of them not so much. If I was able to rotate this to this street, that would be ideal. Has some parking in the front. That's all right. We also have these like corner buildings, which this might be a little bit overkill for this area, but I do like the idea of a corner building. EU commercial building low. I don't want any of the Japanese style only because they're so shiny. And with the current way that the lighting works in this game, I know I'm not going to be a fan of that. We could place that right there. That fits really nicely. We also have some of these options. Do we have a 2x4? We do. Could go all the way back. And then we just need a 3x3, which there's one right here with a parking lot on it. But I'm wondering if that actually becomes residential instead. We do a 3x3 behind there. What I'm liking is having parking spaces in these buildings and having some space for things to spread out a little bit. A 4x6 would fit right there. I think we go for it. All right, let's see. So we've got some commercial buildings there. We placed those by hands. Our houses are coming in nicely. This area here is going to be the densest part. I think we want to then slowly change how all that's going to look. Or slowly spread out the buildings as we go further from there. I also think we probably want to have a ton of unnecessary parking in this area. So like right here, behind those buildings, they need their own little dedicated parking lot. They definitely do. Right here could be a nice little park even. Just on the corner. Nothing crazy. Why will you not connect to that road? There we go. You're really the only thing that's going to fit there. So I say we go for it. We've got some parking there in the front. We've got some buildings along this side. That's all pretty decent, pretty nice. Right here we have a 3x3. And I wonder if in this section we do a low density house. Right there, 3x3. It's going to add a little height to this, but it's an apartment building right there next to everything going on. I think we'll do another apartment building over here as well. Maybe a 2x3 and another 2x3 next door. Get two of them. And then I think we do just a small bit of medium density row homes. And we might tuck a few of these in. Like some of these lots, like these lots are way too big. Now that I'm seeing this, some of these lots are way too big. Hold on. You know what? Undo this. I'm going to call just a quick mulligan on this zoning. I think I want to have a little bit more control here. Facing into this row, I think we would have a bunch of 2x2s. There would be a little bit of density kind of coming off of this parking lot area. But if we had a bunch of 2x2s kind of in this area, that would make a lot of sense to me. Now, we do also want to go back to just doing some low density. That was kind of part of the goal here. So I think we do low density, but I think we keep it a little bit more intentional. So if I was to place this guy right here on this corner, this 2x3, there are two different options available. Can we place 3 next to each other? We can. Let's do the same thing here. And then let's place some here. 1. I'm not going to be able to fit a ton there, so we're going to do it like so. And I think we're going to do the same thing here. What I'm looking for is I basically want to have density, but not have it be all medium density style houses. I want to have density just because buildings are close together, but they're still single family homes. So let's keep doing that all throughout. I think we're going to place this here. We'll do 3 here like we had at the other side. Although that, I believe, is overlapping, so it's not actually going to ever zone. There we go. Then we can do 3 back here. What's nice about this is it gives us these openings here in the middle where we can place some fantastic trees to kind of help this area look a little bit more full. Like right here, we've got an opportunity for a tree on that corner. We're going to take it. So we just get this little downtown feel, this old school downtown. I am going to place a few trees, I think, along this road. Maybe what we'll do is we'll do the smaller ones along this main drag here. Oh my gosh, I already love how this tiny town looks. Like, we don't even have the buildings in yet, but look at that little main street. That's adorable. All right, we should probably think about services out here first, because I don't think we're going to actually have any services reach this area. I do want a big elementary school. We have the USA Southwest Elementary School, which, does this fit over here? It can fit right here. Maybe we do it one off the road with Cherry Street, and this has exterior exits. So let's also add one alleyway just so that there's connections for those 2 exterior exits. This can only operate here. Oh, hold on. One of our low density houses popped in. Yes. Yeah. Something like this. These houses are starting to come in. Yes. And having a little bit of this medium density kind of interspersed throughout, I think looks nice there. Okay. The only downside is that all of these are exactly the same, but I honestly think I'm okay with that. We've got a lot of people streaming in here. This is the only entrance. This is going to be backed up for a minute. Oh my gosh. It's going to be backed up for a minute. We're just going to have to let that happen. Now, even with this having a depot, there is no train stop here, which isn't ideal. And I wonder if we try to make any changes there to allow for a train stop. I'm not sure. Let's also do this. Let's look at the other low rent options here. I only want level 1s. Please and thank you. We've got a lot of we could do the French. I will say those would look great over here. Here's all the low rent American style. Okay, they're fine. My concern is like they're all just going to be too much. I'm wondering if I actually change this a little bit. Like these guys here. I think these can actually look better if this was this instead. Right? I don't mind this one taller building by itself. But then what if we also were to grab this and, ooh, here's what we do. We grab this and we do some of these guys. Maybe right across from the school, there's a series of apartment buildings. Better yet. We're going to keep these level 1 too, so I'm going to probably lock these in. We'll place this here on the corner. And then we'll do a series of apartment buildings right next door. Right? Let's lock all these at level 1. I don't want them to get any taller or any bigger than this. Then we can use the pedestrian paths. Snap to everything. Send a big pedestrian path right along the back here, straight over to here. Let's grab the medium density houses. Send more right along there. This isn't actually considered a road, so it can't have anything there. That can just be trees. I think that's going to look... Oh, yeah, that's just going to be trees. Can we fit... We can fit the park. We're putting a park. Putting a park. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to extend this out. It's saying it's overlapping an item. I am half tempted to just say screw that and use anarchy. Connect these together because that just makes the most sense to me. Why would you not connect those? Let's expand this grass coverage. And actually, we're going to just fill the rest of this area with grass coverage, right? All the way along the back. This here technically has an exit there, but you can't tell. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to fill all of this with more grass. I want to be able to let things not be totally filled in and like be comfortable with that. I tend to place things very close together, fill every spot, and that does look good and it works. But I want this to feel different than the other areas in our build so far. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Kent, how are we looking? No, I want like the town of Kent. All right, we've got 717 residents, 715 residents. Went down a little bit there. Not ideal. We do have multiple entrances, but this is the closest one. So we're not actually a cul-de-sac. But we've got 2 entrances here. Only people are using that first one. That's just going to happen. But that looks pretty decent as a place to start. Okay, I like what's happening down here with these buildings. Let's also look at, just out of curiosity, let's also look at some of these other options we have. We have the EE. We also have the EU low-density houses. Let's just place a few of these and see what we get. If I was to also just do some 2x2s, put a little bit of space between things. Occasionally, there will be a little bit of a bigger house back here. Just like that. It takes way more time to build the houses like that. I don't even know if I like these houses yet. Let's let that zone in first. And I think we finish the other services for this area before we go totally crazy. Let's place some trees in here. We'll also do some alders. We can even sneak in some trees in between. Oh no, this is great. I don't think I can get this over here. Excuse me. I can. I never have room to place. See, this is exactly what I needed because I don't need an entire cell in between them. I don't need a whole zoning cell. I just need a little bit of space so I can place a tree or two there. Make it look a little bit more full, lush, and green. Already. Now, do we have any unique buildings we'd want to place over here? I do have this cedar residence, which could look cool over here. And we have like skyscrapers and stuff. Those would not be over this way. We have the Grand Dynasty Hotel. Oh, this has a number of things here. Okay, also we have a number of other unique buildings. This is a grill. The lobster tail. Why don't we go ahead and do this guy? Well, no, that might look better in the downtown. I think having a supermarket down here would actually be great. Yellow is commercial sustainability. Customers. There's not a lot of customers out this way. But I guess really, there's not a lot of customers out this way yet. We haven't finished building it out. One day there will be a lot of customers out this way. I like having a supermarket over here. Do we want one other commercial building like the Church Inn or something? -1 import costs, +1% attractiveness, and +3 well-being. Just like a Little John right here. Maybe right there on the corner instead of that house, which also just switches up how it feels because like a lot of them can look the same, but if one or two are slightly different, it feels like all of them are different. And these are starting to come in, which is really nice. And then industrial, we did unlock, or no, is it office? Yeah, it's office. We unlocked the livestock exchange. I don't feel like this would go out here, although we are going to have some more farmland over there. So this could go over here. I just want to see it. Yeah, actually, this is going to go over here. It's going to go right here, and we're going to have grass all the way along the outer edge. Bam. I think it needs more trees. And that can be right there. Plus 5% industrial efficiency, plus 5% export costs, and plus 5% entertainment. I like that. It also just gives us something different to this area. Now, one thing this section does need is going to be way more parking lots. The question becomes, though, do we just do big parking lots or do we also try to get some small ones in here? Could I fit this behind there? Boom, that's done. That's going to go right behind there. This already has a decent sized parking lot there. How do these guys look? Pretty good. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. Look at that. That's a cute little town. It's not even done and it's cute. All right, let's go back to solving all of our services. I think for power, we're importing our power. What if there was a big power plant back here? I kind of want to unlock the solar. No? If I go here, it actually let me, hold on, I can hover. Solar power plant, 1.5 million, 150,000 a month upkeep. But I'm already importing power. So if I got this and we used to put a solar power, it's freaking huge. Holy cow. I did not realize how big the solar power plant was. Natural resources, nothing over here. Great. I know exactly where it's going. Get rid of this. Let's place this road right here. This way. Bam. The solar power plant can go right off the back of this building here. Huge solar power plant over here. That's great. We're going to need a massive connection here. We've got a line all the way over here. I think what we could do is do a substation in here. We have a few options. I think I want to use like a regular schmegular transformer. We're going to take this power. We're going to send that power over this direction and down here. Honestly, the transformer could just even go right here on this corner. Turn everything off. Send it up. Why are you saying it's overlapping? Like your job is to, yeah, there we go. There we go. Send it up the side here. Connect up and in. Now we're going to be able to produce a ton of power. Full in 3. What is all the, what are our options? High voltage substation. Allow for a new power line to be built from the plant. Oh, interesting. Okay. Advanced tracking system. The panels automatically turn to keep pointing at the sun, increasing the effectiveness and energy production. I mean, this produces how many watts? 176 so far. More than what we need. And we're exporting 50 of those watts. So I don't think we actually need more watts yet. And there's backup batteries. I don't think we need that yet because we don't play at nighttime. So this is going to forever be on, and that's perfect. I'm going to get rid of this little nub there for now. We're just going to leave that. But now we've got this little transformer. That's great. That's great. All right, I think these other 3 blocks, we should fill these other 3 blocks out with houses, and then we can figure out what we want to do with the rest of our services. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, these areas are zoning in pretty nicely. We've got our power over here, and we're even exporting power now, which may mean we're making money off of service trade, 124,000. We're now making money off of our power, which is amazing. We've got water over here. Our water availability is getting a bit dicey, so maybe we add a water tower over here. It also would just be a fun little addition to this area. We've got a number of places it could go. It does need to be able to connect to the road. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What if it was just in someone's backyard? Like, is that crazy? There's just like a water tower over here. If there was, you'd want to have a service road to it, though, wouldn't you? So you know what? I am going to do it right here. I'm placing the tower right there. We're going to go ahead and connect this right up into here. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to take a path right from here. The game just crashed. Oh, I have no idea where it last saved. Please hold. Okay, all we lost was a little bit of zoning and some trees. So let me just fix all of that really quick. And now we're good to place our water tower. Let's see if we can make this happen in a better way. I'm going to use the alleyway. I'm going to delete the platter box. That's probably what caused the crash. That's okay though. We're going to send this straight on out. It's going to suck for the people who live there because now they're going to be like, wait, there's now a road next to my house. Yes, there is, Cindy. Yes, there is. Let's just put a few trees kind of around here to kind of help a little bit. And then I'm going to place down this water tower right there. I know you don't like it, but we need a water tower for this little town. Also, this has different customizations. I've never done these. So we've got this smiley. Is it on both sides? Oh, it's only on that side? I wish it was on the other side. This one says welcome, but it's there. And this one we haven't unlocked yet. Requires water treatment plant. I think we're going to do a welcome there. Because then eventually when you're driving in from this way, we don't have an option for that yet. But when you are, that'll make a little bit more sense. All right, so we've got power. We've got water. We don't have any healthcare over here. I feel like we would need one. The EE Medical Clinic, although large, could be a great building for this. This is the base game medical clinic. I don't want that. I don't want the French. UK Medical could also be cool over here. And I wonder if we have the medical clinic kind of out this way, over by the transformer, kind of against the edge there. There's also the Japanese medical clinic. Ooh. Let's do the Japanese medical clinic only because this fits this edge so nicely. And then what I can easily do is just come back here and we'll fill all of this in with this surface, just like so. It's additional parking. I even wonder, can I grab the ambulance asset and just for the sake of making this look busier than it is, reduce this down to size 10, change the rotation to 90 degrees, reduce that even more to maybe 4. Yeah, and we just have a few extra ambulances over here. Just like that. Right against the train track, right against the train line. Right here in this box next to this, I think this is just going to get more trees. I don't think we're going to do anything with this just yet. So let's just fill this whole area in. Chestnuts, whole shebang, right? So if we're looking at this direction, this is looking pretty decent. So now we've got some support here. You're only going to operate in Kent. You do also have an upgrade. What does this allow us to do? Inpatient ward. Patients receive intensive care here. You know what? Yeah, it's going to be a great medical center for this little area. We like it. We like it. Of all the death care options, I honestly think the UK Parish Church would just make the most sense over here. Hold on. There's no... it's just the wrong size. But we could have it here on that corner. I don't necessarily want it across the street from the school, facing the school. I kind of would want it to be like embedded in the neighborhood. So I think this actually is probably the best spot for it. This expansion, I don't understand why they are so expensive. $20,000 a month for that extra bit. But let's go ahead and just set this here to Kent. You die, you go right here to this beautiful church. And with that church there, I think it means we need to come in and add in a few extra houses. We can do a 4x4, 3x4, 2x4. Maybe we do some 2x2s around. Just make sure we get all of these little cul-de-sacs. I already have to say, like, this might be one of my favorite towns that I've ever built. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. This just needs some more tree work. And then this is like ready to go. We've got these areas here also need some houses. Before we do any more, let's double check what we've got going on. We placed an elementary school. We did not place a high school. At the moment, there are only 1,000 people living here. So I don't think we need like a very big high school. This has a capacity of 400. And honestly, that's probably more than enough. But if we already have an elementary school there, I would want the high school to be somewhere different. It could be next to the church. That could be just fine. Honestly, I might just do that. Having those two things next to each other. I'd love it to go right in here, to be totally honest. But it's just not going to fit. If I got rid of that parking lot, it would fit. But I do like that being there. Or I could just ditch this extra road that we have here. But I think that rounds things out nicely. So let's just place this right here. Select this as our operating district. We could even add in an extension wing, and there's a sports field when we get large parks that we could place over here somewhere too. That could be nice. We do need a firehouse. I'm thinking we do the regular schmegular firehouse. This guy looks great and has got some like old character to it, which we like. I'm wondering if this actually goes maybe over on one of these corners and absorbs some of the buildings we already have in place. If we placed it here, it would keep those two houses. It would also free up a little block here, where what we could do is instead of having this platter block, we could place one house and we could let it go 4 back. Nice big house right there. Right? Kind of in the heart of everything going on here. This upgrade would just attach to the side. This gives us 4 fire engines. I am going to limit this. No, we'll let it be. We'll let it do its thing. I'm not going to stress too much about it. We also need police out here. Is there just like a small police station? I mean, the small police station is all you're going to need. You don't need anything more than that. This police station is incredibly cute. I regret not placing this first. What is this? This is just like a little building here. I like the parking lot though. I wouldn't want to lose the parking lot. Maybe the small police station can go right over here. Right? Right here along this road. We lose 3 houses. However, it's right on the corner. We've got a parking lot across the street. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with that. We don't have any administration buildings. I've not even purchased the option to do like welfare offices yet, so that's probably something we should think about. In terms of parks, what do we got? We've got 2 parks over there, so that area is decent. Oh my gosh, wait, what if we had a skate park kind of along the edge of the train? Right? And then that would basically cover this entire town. All right, what's left here is me doing a little bit more zoning back this way. I think if I just knock that out, this is going to be ready to go. Okay, so now we've got all of this zoning done, at least on the, I guess, southern half of Kent, and we've got a little bit of water features going on. I got a little pond over here behind our supermarket, and I put a small little kind of estuary over here. I'm thinking of this as like the rain runoff collection, like all the rain and everything would just fall into this small area here. But all around it looks pretty nice. We've got the train going by. Look at that. It's beautiful. And this is kind of where we're going to leave this part, I think. In the next part, I do want to finish out this area, but I think this area needs to be a little bit fancier than what we have going on over here. This is the town. This is where everyone mainly lives. And right on the other side of the train terminal, cropped up maybe a little bit of a nicer neighborhood in support of the town. And all around, I mean, it looks pretty decent. If we scroll out here and we just look at the whole map, we're seeing how the suburbs are going to slowly start to meld into the main city itself. And if I just get a quick look here at some of these buildings, this one upgraded while we were busy doing some other things. It is completely changed to a rectangle now, which is not too bad. These guys look pretty decent. Some of them are already level 2, which is awesome. Also in the next part, we're going to work on some public transit here. I'm curious if we should add in a rail stop. We've got the railway depot, but in itself, it's not able to be its own stop. So I can't actually get rail to this area unless I was to build a separate train station. Now, there are options for that. What we could consider doing is grabbing one of these medium or small train stations and just having something like this kind of dead end in here. Even consider having the train connect all the way through and have a few more crossings. It would remove the ability for this to be upgraded if we did that, but I do think having maybe a rail connection here that would then connect down into the heart of the city could be valuable. Or what we could do is, because we have this rail line here, we could send this rail line up and maybe connect it somewhere else, maybe over like in this area as we continue to connect these two districts. But for now, this is kind of where we're starting with our non-center city build. And this small town of Kent is looking pretty good, if you ask me. I like all the trees as well. So let me know in the comments below how we address the train situation. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lord, I follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.